Hello, this evening for my first resource, I am going to evaluate a project that my students do in math. So it's something we start in the geometry unit, and it's called Lines, Rays, and Angles Drawing. They are to create a drawing that uses the following criteria in your drawing. Your drawing must have all items labeled and drawn neatly. They must include 2 points, 3 lines, 2 line segments, 3 rays, 2 acute angles, 1 obtuse angle, and for bonus, they could include parallel, intersecting, and perpendicular lines. It's a pretty basic document, which is the directions stated. The space is there for them to use for working. There's not much color, it's just the black and white contrast. As I did here, I would provide the directions orally as well as they are written on the assignment. Something else that is helpful is there's a checklist listed right there on the assignment so students can see the requirements and mark them off as they go. It's also a little bit of student choice because they get to choose what they're drawing or how they're going to create the requirements. So hopefully this connects to their personal interest and they're able to have fun and be creative. Some ways to make it more accessible would be to shorten the requirements. So depending on the learner's needs, I could lessen the requirements of the drawings. Something else I could do is provide definitions or visual of each of these vocab words that they need. So they could have a resource page with what a point is and what a point might look like. Same thing with lines, line segments. One way that would help students. Also, as an online assignment, I was thinking you could insert a hyperlink to these that they would be able to click on and it would take them somewhere where they would talk to them about what a point is and give them an example. The next resource I'm going to evaluate this evening is a PowerPoint. This is a PowerPoint we use in our classrooms to review author's purpose. So it starts out by going through what the author's purpose is, and then it gives them the 3 most important purposes and what they mean. So after they go through and review the 3 purposes for writing, they have practice time. I would read the slide to them, and they would have to decide what was the author's purpose. Once the students have answered, we can check that our answer is correct. And it goes on with another selection, same process. And the last selection, same thing. Some things that this PowerPoint lends to themselves are the words are displayed. If I was to use this online, I would narrate through the PowerPoint, pausing and giving the students enough time to make their choice for their answer. Just like I use it in the classroom, I narrate through or I ask for student volunteers to help read. Here it gives the author's purpose and then follows up with an explanation of what that author's purpose means. I could possibly include a drawing or a visual of some to assist students who understand more with that visual. So if there would be some way of letting them know, have a little picture in their head to go with the purposes. And one thing before we would get to this point in the classroom, we would discuss the mnemonic easy as pie, persuade, inform, entertain, which is another great device for helping all learners know what the 3 authors' purposes are. Just like in the classroom with this PowerPoint, the kids interact in different ways. We usually use a Smartboard to do this, so they like to come up and I would actually allow them to come up and write their answer on the board before we would get into the point of checking our answer. It also allows for students to debate with a neighbor what they think it is, lots of different ways of interacting with the PowerPoint. And the same thing online, it could allow for several ways of interacting with different classmates and peers through the review. So students would be able to debate, like I said, and take into consideration what their peers have to say, which would help them if they were unsure of the problem. I think it's great that students are able to help one another. So those are the two resources I was evaluating in this module. Thank you.